Hey, what's up everyone? So while watching the local radar here, these extreme storms that have been passing through, and throughout the night they're going to do that, and tomorrow morning, throughout the day, it's going to be an all-day thing, and then throughout, after midnight they get super strong, they say. The storms after dark, they say, get super strong. I don't remember that happening that often here, but apparently they're happening. Hey, kitty. Hey, get. Anyway, but yeah, I've got an interesting story. Last night, I put the dog out while it was dry for a little while. There was bright moonlight, beautiful, beautiful moonlight. And the moon was shining right onto us, and it was so beautiful. Well, right around, let's see, what time was it? I guess it was about 10 o'clock, maybe. I guess. Can't remember the exact time. I went back outside. I put Red on the chain for a moment to let him be outside. I took him out of the garage and let him sit out there on the dog chain for just a moment. Just a little while. I just wanted to let him sit out there. I took him out, took him for a walk around the yard to do his business, and then laid him down there. He just lay there, put him on the chain. Well, then I go back outside, and he is having a monster fit like I have not heard him do in years. And he's like, he was literally ready to kill something. He was ready to eat something up. He was I mean, that's what he was doing. He was showing his teeth completely, and he was growling and barking. I mean, he sounded like a vicious dog. But he was protecting me, apparently. He was protecting me and the property. And I went up to it and I said, "Hey, what is it, boy?" And I looked over and I saw this creature of some sort. And of course, my phone would be dead at that time. I wasn't thinking that was going to be the case. I guess you should expect anything, but I wasn't expecting that to be the case. I didn't have a camera or something to record. So, this shadow, I saw it just take off from the pear trees, the Bradford pears, and then it was across the road. Whatever it was I don't know if it might have been after me. It probably was, knowing the things that I deal with. But it took off, and then I could hear branches breaking, branches going. I heard walking. I could hear it walking on the other side of the fence line that's across the old road. And I could see that it was just staring at me. It had kind of a pointed, I don't know if you'd say triangular, but just pointed head. It seemed like a dark, hairy figure that stood with his arms and legs to the side and just kind of had a pointed head that I could see. That's what I could make out of it. That's the gist that I got. I don't know what that would be. Does anyone know what kind of cryptid that would be? What kind of creature that would be? Or being? But it literally had this kind of a pointed type of head. I know I thought about the old Native American Indian stories of the hide behind, or the SWs, skinwalkers, and Wendigo. I've heard many stories of. I've researched many stories on the different things like the Wampus cat and all types of Native American stories, American Indian stories I've read. But this was some type of being or entity that dog did not like. That dog was going to eat it up. He acted like he might have been gone if he'd have done that. I had to restrain him and hold him back as best I could. And I had to put him up because guess what? Right as I thought about, maybe shining a light or something, trying to get a better view. The people next door, someone came in next door with children. They're like, "Bye, I love you," and they holler, and I'm like, "Why now? Why?" And Red's just having a monster fit. They have no idea what he's having a monster fit over. And then a car comes down the road, and the creature disappears. But it's just staring at me from behind, just in the darkness. And it's for some reason when these particular beings are around, it gets even darker. They're like even darker. It's like the background is made even darker so you can't see them. That's the way it seems. I haven't had a creature encounter like that in quite a while. A being encounter. But I will say, it reminded me of like when some other situations that I've had where the dogs would have a fit, but the other two didn't even bother this time. But I remember the time that I saw that giant wolf, and then the very next day there was a wolf carcass out there at the in the old creek branch. Almost like how they used to make they would say that they would make the body, they would take the skin and make the body and take the form of whatever they wanted. And that's where the term skinwalker came from. Anyway, but there's a lot of angelic and demonic forces out there. There's also a lot of interdimensional beings that are going on, and there's a lot of things that people don't understand. But that dog was about to literally eat something up. I felt like if I'd let him go, he would have been a goner. He was viciously barking. Now, unbeknownst to everyone else, there was something right there, and no one had any idea. No one had any idea. All they know is that my dog was having a fit. And this stuff always happens at the most uncanny and worst times, where someone was coming in next door, and then there's no proof except my dog's just having a monster fit. The people are coming in next door, someone's driving down the road, and there's no proof of the creature. It's just right across the road, staring at me, and then just disappears. That's last night's story. The story from last night. I put the dog up in the garage, and I'm surprised he went up. I really am. I'm really shocked that he actually went up. But he still continued to have a fit, barking at the edge of the garage door, wanting out, and then I told him to go on in there. I was like, quiet, go on in there. It's okay now. He did not. He got very upset when I went back toward the truck. Mama didn't want me going back out there anyway, either. I understand. I understand that. But it was like, I don't know. And then Red, he continued to bark heavily through the night. For about an hour after that, and then he settled down. Then there were a bunch of police sirens. I don't know what that was all about either. Maybe the people on the next door forum will let me know, or app or whatever will let me know. I asked the question of what was going on last night. As far as that, I don't talk about those other things on there. Used to talk about those strange things on topics, but they took topics down, so you can't speak anonymously anymore. Alright, anyway. Alright. It's very weird. Okay, peace everyone. That's what was going on last night.